business owners and executives from around the valley. This is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Business Leaders. I'm really excited to have this show today and bring you this store in Fresno that's always been one of my favorites. They support me in my wardrobe each and every week right here Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. here on KMPH Fox 26. My name is Lance Cardoza, and I'm joined by the CEO of the Fresno Suit Outlet, home of the three-suit deal, Tony, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So you get 3 suits, 3 ties, 3 hankies, 3 pairs of socks,
3
and
shirts.
3 shirts for $2.99.
$2.99.
Incredible. And
Heck of a deal.
that's how I first met you. I mean, I found this place, the Fresno Suit Outlet, and thought, this is exceptional.
It's been a few years.
Been a few years. And so how long have you been doing had the store?
This is our 17th year already.
17 years.
A few gray hairs ago.
We've known each other for
A good majority of
a
that.
good majority, yeah, because you were probably about 7 years into it. Probably because I've known you.
Yeah, about 6, 7
now.
years, yeah.
You were 6, 7
Already.
years into it with Fresno Suit Outlet. And
We're
you
at
were
our smaller location at that time.
real close to the same
Yeah,
location.
correct.
It was by More Furniture.
More Furniture, correct.
Yeah. And now you're right behind there with double the size
Double the
now?
size, correct.
Wow.
Correct. We just had to bring a little bit more variety, a little bit more fun, some more colorful stuff, some more shoes. So
Yeah.
we needed more room.
That's a beautiful place, and you got all sorts of different options. And I love what's nice about the Fresno Suit Outlet, and we'll get into how you got to that point of running the store and being able to give you the home of the 3-suit deal. But you have sizes for, you call it the married side of the room and the
Yeah.
pre-married side of the room, as you joke
Well,
with people.
that was the joke when I first started. I couldn't. Sometimes when the guys come in, you don't want to say that they're big boys.
Yeah.
You know, so when they call and go, do you have, bigger suits available? I go, we go from pre-married size to been married for a while size, and it just
Stuck.
that always stuck. So the true numbers are we go from a size 34 suit, which is a 28 waist, which is mainly my high school, middle school, high school kids for graduations and proms and whatnot. From that 34 up to a size 74,
Wow.
which is about a 68 waist. So, I mean, we got
You
pretty
have
good,
options for
pretty
people
good.
that probably wouldn't have an opportunity to,
Exactly.
to look
Exactly.
their best and put on a suit.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
what the 3-suit concept is, because I used to wear suits quite often before, and big guys typically don't have much of an option. So I wanted to make sure we had a few different options instead of just basic black or basic gray or whatever. So I brought not only the suits, but the bigger shirts. Shirts would go up to like a 24 neck. So
Yeah.
Again, some of the bigger sizes, we have a hard time getting as bigger guys. So
Yeah, but they were commenting. They were looking at how tight my shirt was. Like, hey, you might go back and visit Tony over there at the Fresno
Get
Suit
that
Outlet.
half-inch bigger.
Yeah, I need a little more breathing room here. But that's what I love about your store too, and what I also love is the variety, as you mentioned. And I like to wear a little bit of flash, a little bit
You
of
do
something.
that.
If you have to wear a suit here in the valley, or you want to wear a suit,
You wanna look good.
Why not jazz it up a little bit? And you have all those options.
And I know you like the jazzy shoes too.
Oh yeah, I love the.
You like to
I
go a
have
little
some of
bit.
them on
I
right
know. I
now.
noticed that earlier. I
I
noticed
got
that
some
earlier.
shine going on. So, and again, the 3-suit deal. When you were going to school in high school, Tony, and we'll talk about where you went to high school. Did you see yourself running the home of the 3-suit deal at Fresno
Not
Suit
at
Outlet?
all.
Not at all.
I know I wanted to do something business related, but suits wasn't the first thing on my mind because you think Fresno, who's going to wear a suit when it's 106?
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to remember there's a lot of people now in Fresno County. You're talking over 1 million people, and we get people in the store from Bakersfield up to Sacramento, Elk Grove, Rosedale,
Wow.
Rosedale, Fair Oaks, Folsom,
Yeah.
So we get a pretty good variety of people that come in. So when we first set up everything, I had a smaller store like we spoke.
Yeah.
And I figured, okay, this is going to be enough. I wasn't expecting the Merced group and the Madera group and Chowchilla and
Yeah.
Stockton and
People coming from all
Delano
over
and
the
all
valley.
over the place.
Yeah.
Especially the coast, because a lot of retired Fresno folks are
Not a lot of options,
San Luis
maybe.
Obispo, Monterey, whatnot. So when they come visit family here, they come through, grab stuff, and You know, it was a little eye-opening, more than I anticipated. And then, of course, we doubled up the size, and here we are today.
Here you are today. Where did you go to high school? Where did you go to school?
Bullard High.
Bullard High.
Graduated a few years ago.
Yeah, just a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
just a few years ago.
And when you were setting out to go into business or go into the workforce, what did you have your eyes set on? What did you always want to do, Tony?
There wasn't anything specific that I had my eyes on. I just know I like business because I used to help out my father. He has a shoe repair store. Currently he's at First and Barstow Craft Shoe Repair, which you know him well.
Sarkis, Kalanjian, yes.
So he's been doing that since shoe repair were called cobblers back in the 70s. So I'd been helping him for a number of years, and, you know, helping person go, hey, you know, your shoes are looking a little dull, you know, here's some polish, here's some this, here's some that. Winter's around the corner, here's some waterproof or whatnot. So I always had that gift of gab, or, you know.
Sort of upselling some of the products?
Sometimes,
Yeah,
you know.
your
And
dad has a lot of products in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got a little bit of everything,
He's got a
literally.
variety, craft shoe repair.
Yeah,
yes.
so my father has a bunch of different things from, you know, A to Z, pretty much shoe related. So I was like, hey, you know, this is what I'd suggest, and, you know, if you want to do it, go for it. If not, you know, I'm not much of a hard sell kind of guy.
Yeah.
I give you your options. You want to do it, that's awesome. If you don't, you know, bring it back and we'll fix it again in a month from now. So I started with that, and then, you know, just loved that whole business sense. And then after I graduated, went to work for the Yellow Pages.
Oh, just right down the road.
Right down the road.
Yeah.
So I did that for over 12 years. So I did sales, I did management, and with that, obviously, you know, you see
Sort of set you
a
up
ton
for-
of different types of businesses,
Yeah.
and, you know, from the dentist to the attorney to the tow truck company to the auto repair. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we had a good variety of people and different ideas and whatnot. And my cousins have suit stores in LA.
Yeah.
And, you know, I did that, like I said, for almost 12 years. And there really wasn't a suit store like that here in Fresno, besides your typical main chain stores, which are usually just your basic suits, you know, basic black or
Yeah.
gray or navy. So I go, you know what, let me see if that might work here in Fresno. So
And then you started coming up with a plan with the Fresno Suit Outlet.
Fresno Suit Outlet.
Fresno Suit Outlet. So 17 years, you have the Fresno Suit Outlet right here in Fresno. And like I said at the top of the show, it's a home of the 3-suit deal.
Correct.
We're going to talk more about your story, Tony, and what led to that point where you opened up your store for the very first time, and those trials and tribulations to do that. We'll be right back with more Business Leaders Don't Go Away right here on Fox, KMPH 26.
Business owners and executives from around the valley. This is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Hello, Lance Cardoza here with Business Leaders. Thank you for tuning in here on KMPH Fox 26 every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. I bring you a business leader throughout the valley and abroad, and a good friend of mine, Tony Kalanjian, Fresno Suit Outlet. We were talking about the top of the show about going to school in Bullard. Not sure what you were going to do, but you went down to your dad's store at Craft Shoe Repair
Correct.
and started to cut your teeth on sales and working with customers.
Correct. Yeah, I did that with my father for a number of years, even when I was in middle school, you know, or even elementary, helping him out, you know, on Saturdays or whatnot, and just loved sales. It was just fun.
Yeah.
You know, and I just assumed everyone knows how to sell, but that's not the case,
Not the case,
unfortunately.
yeah.
So,
You do a different type of sale, though, and I think it's like your dad. I've seen him operate too, and every one of his customers that come in, it's like it's.
I love my
it's-
customers.
Oh, I love your customers, and it's like family.
They are.
And, yeah, and you reel them in, find out what's going on. And your dad's that way too, and I've noticed that maybe you there watching him deal with his customers sort of translated
be,
into how
could
you
be.
do your business.
I mean, we mimic, you know, what we
Yeah.
like and
Yeah.
do that. And, you know, I know sometimes the employees that work with me, you know, they go, do you know every customer? And most of the time, I don't.
Yeah.
But I want to know them.
Yeah.
You know, why are you getting this? Is it just for fun? Is it for a wedding? Is it for a funeral? Is it for,
Yeah.
what's it for? Is it for your Vegas with your buddies?
Yeah.
So I could set them up, you know, in a fun suit or a serious suit.
Yeah.
So, you know, I chit chat with them, and I became friends with a lot of my customers. And, you know, of course, you know, the phone call comes, Big Tony there? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, geez,
You're
Louise,
like the
okay.
big Tony hotline.
Yeah, the Tony hotline. It's like, but no, I love what I do. I love the people that come in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's sometimes a little stressful when you've got, you know, 5, 6, 7 weddings all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on the same weekend, and three of the wedding groups are doing the same exact color suit, and you're like, oh my God, you know, let's not mix up this, that, and the other. But no, it's been awesome. It's been fun.
So in 17 years, when you bit the bullet and said, I'm going to build something for your family's legacy and building a business for yourself, working with Yellow Pages, you probably saw several business people that
Correct.
were inspiring to you.
Correct.
Was there any that sort of stood out to you that said, you know what, I want to follow the lead of a certain person?
There was a few different business people that I dealt with, and you know, you go to different chamber mixers and different things like that, and I don't want to name specific names because I'm going to forget a few of them, but there was a few people that stood out that, you know, try this, do this, go here, go there, and just get more experience. You know, the more you know, the better off you are, obviously, in life in general. And so when I was talking to my father about, you know, possibly doing the suit store, he goes, well, that's fantastic because we obviously have relatives in LA that have suit stores. So he goes, why don't we go talk to them?
Did you know that at that time, or?
I knew about it, but I didn't know that they were actual family.
Yeah.
You know, I knew that the stores were there, obviously, because I had purchased suits from them. But
Yeah.
I mean, when they've got 10, 12, 15 employees, you're not realizing that,
Yeah.
you know, the owner is actually your cousin. So it's like, okay,
Go figure, yeah.
because he was never there. He's always buying and purchasing. He's always out of the country and
Building the
doing
business.
deals. You know,
Yeah.
building the deals, building the business up. And so we went, spoke to them. You know, what do we need? You know, this, that, and the other. And you know, it's like you get into business and you just assume, you know, open the doors, everyone's going to know
They're
you.
gonna come, yeah.
It's not the case.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people go, okay, you have suits, you have shirts, you have ties. Obviously, that's the majority of it.
Yeah.
But I don't realize you got to get those racks built. You got to get those shelves built. You got to have spots for your shoes. You have to have, you know, the cubicles for the 22 different color shirts you got, and
And your business license.
the
and
business
all of
license, and go
everything else you need to
downtown
do
and make
downtown,
sure all
yeah.
your permits are good, and get your fire extinguishers, and
Yeah.
you know, oh, by the way, get a, you know, point of sale machine, get a so and so.
A lot of last minute things in
Yes,
building up
you know,
to that
so you're
point.
going, okay, I know I got this much into it, and then you got another, you know, but
Yeah.
because I was speaking to all these various business people, I already knew certain things that I had to do and certain costs that were related to it. So
Yeah.
I had a little bit more of an edge than most people did, obviously.
Okay.
And so I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah.
And then obviously when we went bigger,
Yeah.
I knew what I was getting into.
Getting into, and then it just
Yep.
gotten bigger. And would you say, as an entrepreneur, and if you had a young person who was watching this program and was thinking about doing what you had dreamed to do and you went and did it, what would you say to that young person, or your son that would be watching this show, or your daughter? What would you say to them as a young entrepreneur getting ready to go out and bite the bullet and do it? What would you say?
I would say don't be afraid, but measure twice, cut once. You know, like the old construction.
Measure twice,
Twice, cut once, because, you know, once you put yourself out there, failure is not an option.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I know they say, you know, after 4 or 5 years, if you've been in it, you know, chances are you're going to be good for a number of years. But, you know, just everything that you do, just double check, and, you know, it's something very simple. You know, my cousins have stores down in LA.
Mm-hmm.
LA crowd is a little bit different than Fresno.
Yeah.
You know, they have a few more, you know, because of demographics and stuff like that. We have more shorter people here. They have more taller people over there, especially because of the tourists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he was telling me get all these, you know, suits come short,
Yeah, yeah,
regular,
yeah.
long, extra
Yeah.
long. So he's telling me to get all these long suits and extra long suits and this and that. I'm like, who are these people for? Because, you know, I
wasn't
look
your
at Fresno,
demographic, yeah.
there's not too many 6'7" guys in this town that I've seen. You know,
Yeah.
6'6", 6'7", 6'8" guys. A lot of the people here are under 6 feet tall, or around 6 feet at the max, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I had to adjust accordingly to
To know what your demographic
our
is.
demographic,
Yeah.
exactly. Because what works in San Francisco doesn't work in Clovis.
Yeah, Tony, I don't mean to interrupt you. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with more of the Fresno Suit Outlet. Don't go away. Welcome back, everybody, to Business Leaders right here on KMPH Fox 26. Tony Kalanjian, Fresno Suit Outlet. The top of the show, we talked about the amazing deal, the 3-suit deal. 3 suits, you get 3 ties, you get 3 hankies, 3 pairs of socks, 3 shirts. Did I miss anything?
I think we're good. I think we're good.
3 belts.
3 belts. Oh, my bad.
3 belts. And you get all that for $2.99.
Correct.
And you've got great suits, and I'm wearing one of those now, and I wear them here on the show, here on Business Leaders. And thank you for being a sponsor for my wardrobe of Lance Cardoza
Absolutely,
on Business
absolutely.
Leaders. Always been a great support of me and my family, and we love your family and really love what you're doing with your store. And I talk about it, it's sort of like home week at your store. When people come in, you have people just come in and just chop it up.
Yeah,
It's
they
almost
come in,
like-
chit chat. It's family.
It's like the barbershop movie, you know, they just come in, they're hanging out and they're talking, and then they end up picking up something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They come in. It's like, hey, I just wanted to say hi. I was in the area. Oh, where'd you get this hat?
Yeah.
You know, when'd you get this green hat, yellow hat, red hat?
Yeah.
Like, so they'll grab a hat and leave. And
Yeah. Or the new cool shoes that you have from Stacy Adams.
yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
got some. Not only some new Stacy Adams ones, but we have some spiky shoes and reds and purples and
All sorts of stuff.
yeah. I have fun with it. You know, you've seen me in my 3-piece
yeah.
white suit, so
Oh, yeah.
You know, I wear some of the
I've
craziness
seen
as
it
well.
with a cane and a hat, too.
The black and white cane and the black and white hat.
So talk to me about when you went from the smaller location to your double the size location.
Correct.
Where can people find you for Fresno Suit Outlet? And talk to me about scaling up that way. Did you scale up? Weddings were a big piece of the growth of your company too?
Correct. Yeah, we when we first opened, actually a few months even before we opened, we started advertising, which is, I think, big because obviously I did advertising for
You
a number of
understood
years.
it, yeah.
So we did radio, newspaper, because newspaper was obviously
Mm-hmm.
you know bigger 17 years ago. We did magazines because Fresno's got a bunch of different, whether it's Hispanic or
Periodicals out there, yeah.
English or Asian, you know, Hmong or whatever. So we did various magazines. We did multiple radio stations. We did various TV stations. Obviously, with Kopi, we've done the Pick a Tie Tuesday for a number of years.
I love
we
Pick
did.
a Tie Tuesday.
So we did a little bit of everything, and then obviously when they come in, how'd you hear about us, blah, 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 blah. So you start taking notes and just focus on the ones that you're getting the majority of. But when we moved to the bigger location, about 3 months before, I started purchasing more and more stuff because just because I purchase it today doesn't mean I get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So everything takes a little bit of time. So, you know, we got everything ready, got the racks, got the shelving, got all that stuff, you know, moved over. And it was a little bit of a mess for about 10
Just get it
days,
organized
12
so you
days to
know
get
what
it
you're doing,
organized.
yeah.
Because, I mean, moving 3,000 suits is not an overnight deal by any means.
Yeah.
You know, there's 5,000 shirts, about 5,000 ties, 3,000 suits. So, I mean, it's a pretty full store, which
Oh,
you
yeah, I
know.
yeah.
So, you know, we did that, and, you know, we focused with various churches had the bulletins, you know, the little bulletin boards or magazines that go out to their people. And so whether it's apostolic, Pentecostal, Jehovah Witness,
Yeah.
Mormon, every denomination, I know when their conventions are because we see them all.
Yeah.
Because we advertise and spoke and chit-chat and, you
So
know,
over
we've
the
donated-
17 years, you sort of learned what your demographic is coming in and
you
purchasing.
know what they're looking for, why they're looking for it, and just cater to that. Plus, the weddings have increased dramatically, especially this year because it was this year's people getting married, plus last year's people getting married, plus proms and everything. So it was for a few months. It was
It was during the
a little
pandemic
hectic.
they put everything on hold.
Everything was on ice.
And now they're all moving forward.
And
trying to-
not only that, but about a third of the suits we had to reorder because a few people gained some weight during that
I can see that.
during that whole year at home,
Size them up.
you know,
change it
buffet
up.
eating at home thing. So a lot of people gained weight, and so we had to change shirt sizes, change suit sizes. You know, you got 8 days to,
Yeah.
you know, to get them a new suit, alter it, blah, blah, blah. So
And you do
it was fun.
alterations, everything all right there in the store.
correct, everything's in the store. We don't outsource, you know, anything unless, you know, we did for a little bit, just because, you know, you can only do so many.
much, yeah.
You know, we were going through a lot of weddings, you know,
Yeah.
back to back to back to back to back. I mean, you do multiple weddings on the same weekend. It gets a little hectic, especially when, you know, the wedding Saturday, Friday, the guys coming from Chicago or Texas or
Yeah.
wherever the situation is. So they're coming in Friday night, measure them, get it altered Saturday morning, because Saturday afternoon
out
they're
the
getting,
door.
you know,
Yeah.
their brother's getting married or whatever the situation is. So
Tell people at home, how do they find the Fresno Suit Outlet?
Fresno Suit Outlet, we're at 5054 North Blackstone. We're on Blackstone, just north of Shaw. So
yeah.
just past Shaw Avenue, we're right on the right-hand side. It's you know, over 5,000 square feet of just men's stuff.
Men's stuff.
Men's stuff.
It's loaded.
So-
and a lot of times I see guys come in there and they're like, wow, and they're confused. Like, where do I start? And the ladies that you have there, and you, if Big Tony's in the store too, you guys guide them perfectly, exactly.
Absolutely,
and
because-
lay the options out for them.
Because some guys, like I said, don't know. I mean, they'll come in and say, I'm a 1X, which
Yeah.
is obviously a t-shirt size, not a suit size. But, you know, we take care of them as much as we can. And some guys have multiple suits, but they just want a tie clip or a hat or a lapel or, you know, a collar extender.
Yeah.
You know, just to
Certain
give
thing they
them.
come in for,
yeah, they
yeah.
come in for certain items. And like I said, we have, you know, the bigger guys covered as well. You know, the shirts, we go up to a 24, which is, you know,
Yeah.
good size shirt. So I have fun with it.
Yeah, a lot
I have
of
fun with the
options.
customers. I, you know, joke with the customers, and they joke back with me. It's fun.
You've built
It's
a great
blast.
business, Tony, and I love having you on my show, Business Leaders, and we're running out of time here. We could talk all day long
Absolutely.
and talk shop, but go down and check it out. It's Fresno Suit Outlet. Tony Kalanjian, thank you for being on my program. Every week on Tuesday at 11 a.m., I bring you Business Leaders. Join us next week right here on KNPH Fox 26.